Oh, Reddit. It is one of the most helpful and authentic sources of information on the internet. Mainly because people are anonymous, so they'll share their deepest, darkest secrets and their best frugal living tips. Like, check out this one from Reddit user Sunflowers2359 with the suspenseful title, "I never thought I'd be this excited over used furniture." Just scored this beautiful crate and barrel axis couch. It has been meticulously maintained and was barely used by the seller. I could not stomach spending the amount that this couch goes for. We did drive to a much higher class area to get it, about an hour drive from us, but so worth the trip. It is 6 years old and still looks brand new. Not only does it look pretty, it is so comfortable. The best part about it, it only cost us $300. We are pumped. With 2 exclamation points. Alright, this Redditor is a genius. They are acting on a frugal living principle that even I follow. There's one thing about getting secondhand goods from the thrift store or from Facebook Marketplace, but getting secondhand goods from a higher class neighborhood is an even better idea. One person commented, 10 out of 10 would crash on your couch, and another user said, just hope the seller didn't sell that cheap because of bed bugs. Okay, this is actually a legit concern because when it comes to buying used furniture, especially upholstery or fabric like couches, even from rich people, bed bugs don't care how much money you have. But overall, the frugal tip I am taking from this Reddit post is to hit up rich neighborhoods for the best used stuff. If that's your neighborhood, great for you. If you just know the closest Lululemon and can find a gated community nearby, that's also a great idea. And by the way, these 7 tips I'm going through are coming from the Frugal subreddit r/frugal, which has over 6.6 million members. So just from that, you know there are a ton of people looking for ways to save money and find a channel like this. So make sure to subscribe if you do want to be a part of the first 50,000 subscribers. Okay, this next post is one of the top frugal posts of all time. Just look at the comments and engagement on this one. This user said, I got bids from tile setters to do a backsplash for $2,000. I ended up doing it myself for under $200. Obviously, doing DIY can save you money, but there's a big reason why this is a top post. This particular project of changing the tile backsplash in a kitchen is not only an easy project to do yourself, but it makes a big impact. You can completely alter the vibe, the brightness, and the mood of an area of your home by changing the tile backsplash. And of course, this isn't something that takes years of trade school to accomplish. That's why the frugal tip I'm taking from this post is to focus on big impact, low effort renovations. Here are some other examples of big impact, low effort renovations. Painting an accent wall or a door. It takes less than 2 hours, and with $50 to $60, you can completely elevate a room in your home. Swap out your cabinet hardware. And I'm talking about those little knobs or those handles on your drawers and cabinets. Just replacing that with matte black or brass can instantly make your kitchen feel more modern. Add some trim or crown molding. This small border can make pretty much any room look more high-end. And finally, replace light fixtures. This one will probably give you the biggest bang for your buck, and it is a huge centerpiece in every room. Now, doing these small projects aren't complex, but they can make your space look like you spent thousands when you really only spent hundreds. Okay, this next one is a top post, and it covers a frugal dates idea. So for all you lovers out there, the title says, to whoever shared wine and painting date night idea, thank you. And then they went on to say, saw a picture of a couple preparing for a wine and paint night, so we're on here, decided to replicate the success. We've had a wonderful date for under $30 with paints and paintbrushes we can reuse for future dates. Edit, we did it at home. I assume the TV with Bob Ross on it was a giveaway. Overall, this date night tip is a great idea. You don't need to spend $120 on a night out to get some quality time with your loved one. So maybe it's time to roll up our sleeves, channel our inner Bob Ross, and have an at-home paint and sip night. From personal experience, I know the best memories come from being creative and doing something fun and ridiculous together, like painting happy little trees. So our frugal tip from this post is to get creative with quality time. Okay, the next Redditor gave a very practical grocery tip. This user said to check the international foods aisle for spices. Price difference of 2 aisles over at my local grocery. And the picture shows 2 different brands of turmeric, and the one from the international foods aisle is obviously much cheaper. You know, I never really thought about this one, but it is so true. So frugal tip number 4 in this video is to check international aisles for spices. And while we're at this, let me add something on. Hit up the actual international grocery stores too. You can find spices, rice, and other staples for a fraction of the mainstream grocery store prices, and they're a little bit more authentic. Just by my experience. There's another whole comment thread under this post about Asian grocery stores and how they have great stuff and great prices. Okay, for this next Reddit post, let's leave a moment of silence because this one's a bit morbid. The user said, 1 year ago today, I made this cremation casket when my dad passed shortly after being diagnosed with cancer. The cheapest cremation box shown to us was 850 Canadian dollars. I made this for 120. Don't let funeral homes hit you when you're grieving. So frugal tip number 5 is don't let companies take advantage of your emotions to rip you off. This doesn't apply to just funerals, but I'm also referring to weddings, emergency car repairs, and basically any situation where you're stressed or emotional. Those are the vulnerable moments when companies will hit you with premium prices because they know you're not thinking clearly about money. It's a little messed up, but companies can keep doing this because people keep saying yes to these crazy prices because they are in an emotional state. They understand people are willing to pay more to make a milestone or a meaningful moment more special. So in those moments like your wedding, heck, maybe you're planning a funeral, just take a step back and remember that there's usually a more affordable option that doesn't compromise on what really matters. Heck, this even applies to our normal money moves like saving money regularly, investing normally. If we leave that up to chance or how we feel at the time, then we're probably not going to be consistent with our saving and investing. One of the best ways I've been able to stay consistent for the last 6 to 7 years with my money moves is by just automating my bank accounts, opening the right checking, high yield savings, investing accounts, and just making those transfers automatic every single month. I want you guys to know the exact system that I use to automate my money, so there's a link in the description to a free 5-day email course so that you can learn how to do this for yourself. Let's not make saving and investing another emotional decision. Just put that thing on autopilot and I'll show you how in this free email course. Okay, if you're a parent or looking to start a family soon, remember this next Reddit post. This one's really cute. It's a Reddit user who shared this simple cardboard game my wife made for our 2.5-year-old. And someone commented, this game is amazing, but you should offer some ads on there or maybe offer some in-app purchases of different skins for the board. Again, this is why I enjoy Reddit. But just look at this video. It's so fun to watch, and the little guy is so genuinely happy when he finally gets the ball to go into the hole. So frugal tip number 6 I'm getting from this video is remember, children are more creative than you. Kids really don't need much to entertain themselves, aka you don't need to spend hundreds or thousands of dollars to buy toys and games to constantly be entertaining your kid. Back in my day, I didn't have an iPad to keep me busy in the car. I could literally watch water droplets when it was raining, like race down the windshield, or I would imagine my hand like jumping over the little obstacles like it's a little action hero. The point is, expensive toys doesn't equal better when it comes to kid entertainment. Their imagination is way more powerful than any toy company's marketing budget. Remember that Phineas and Ferb episode where they used a brick as entertainment?
It's fun.
Alright, this next Reddit post can save you some money, but this is mainly for laughs. The user said, just found out my grandma's been reusing the same Ziploc bag since 1997. I was helping my grandma clean her kitchen today and found a Ziploc bag labeled Thanksgiving Leftovers 97, still in rotation. I asked her why she hasn't thrown it out. She said, why would I? It still zips. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the final boss of frugality. Meanwhile, I felt guilty last week for reusing a paper towel. Edit, she just told me she washes and irons her gift wrap too. I am not worthy. Okay, this is awesome. Okay, another user commented and said, so funny, I used to work as a caregiver for the elderly. One old woman gave me a birthday card and signed it on a post-it note. She explained this was so I could use the card for someone else. It's absolutely genius. I'm probably gonna use that one, honestly. So frugal tip number 7 is to reuse when it makes sense. Now, I'm not saying you should reuse your Ziploc bag for 25 years. Honestly, I'm not even sure if that's like okay for you health-wise, but the principle is solid. Before you throw something away, ask yourself if you can use it again, or even use it for something else. Now, if you wanna go straight to the trenches of Reddit to find more frugal advice, go for it, but there's also a Frugal Rich Facebook group. It's completely free for the first 1,000 members, and it's people like us who like to save money, build wealth, but do it in a simple way. So give it a click in the link as well. It's free once again, and you can talk talk to other like-minded people. I also made another video that's a little more practical than reusing a Ziploc bag for 25 years. It's right here, 12 frugal micro habits that actually changed my life. Give it a click. I think you'll find the things there very interesting if you enjoyed this video. Peace.